Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. A couple of advertisements here at the start. I've finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also founded Countertrend Capital with these guys over here, so if you are looking for signal service and more education, check us out here on countertrendcapital.com. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. So here we are on 1 hour time frame on SP500 futures chart, and today again we're going to be focusing on the structures from the lows of October 13th. Since then, the main idea has been that we've had this in the form of 3 waves into wave W, 3 waves into X, or this X is not done at these lows, but this 3-way structure would be the start of this wave X. And then we would have another 3-way here, and then a 3-way structure here, so wave X would be done lower or at least later. It is possible that we end it in here as well, but we're going to be looking into this smaller time frame in just a moment. But that is the higher time frame main idea that I have. The other one that I've been going with is the other possibility, but not the one I like, is there's some kind of diagonal here at the start, and then having again this as the wave 2 or wave B, and again the possibility of shifting these over here is still relevant. Now, since the lows that we had here, the main idea has been that we have had this in 3 waves, and I don't see any other bullish option there. So that's that. 3 waves looking decent. We had a decent extension target here hit for the wave Y, and then we had structures coming down. Now, I don't think this is any more WXY like I had it there, but instead it would be this impulse count downwards. So let's check out this one. Now, we talked previously about these lows, but to get in there, we had a potential leading diagonal into wave 1. Now, the wave 2 positioning here is the question mark. Either the wave 2 is up here, like I've labeled, or in these highs as I've had this arrow. So again, we have this as a possible ABC here for that flat structure, or running flat, as we did not take out these highs. So again, 1, 2 or 1, 2, one or the other. If we have it like this, the current way of label, then we have a smaller or 1 degree extra overall, and again, later on we should be seeing that as well somewhere. Now, in this scenario, we would have this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, a lot of overlapping wave structures giving us nested patterns before we break downwards a bit more with a force. I've labeled this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 into these lows here, 4 and 5 into the third. Again, we talked about how this did not really seem large enough to be sub-micro waveform, so we were expecting it to create a flat, and it did create a flat, again another running flat, just like in here. But then again, we were breaking down afterwards. A lot of overlapping structures here, so the only real possibility here is either a 3-way structure like so, or a diagonal ending this 5th. Now, the other option is that we would be creating a third of something in here. This would be a 4th of something, and this would be some kind of a structure like that in the form of larger wave 4. So that is definitely a possibility. And then we'd be still expecting one more low here. Now, the way I currently labeled this, again, we are on 5-minute time frame. This was the last time we were talking about this. We had this leading diagonal possibility. I took longs here, and again stops here, and now we're in pretty decent profits. And again, this was signaled on the CTC Discord as well. What else? Well, I labeled this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third. There is a possibility that we are going to get an extended 5th here. However, if we are just comparing this leg over to the next, we are very much in these bearish targets. We hit the 1-to-1, we're heading towards the 1.236. We do have a couple of divergences here starting on 5-minute time frame. We had previous divergences as well here when I was looking to take profits, and I took profits here when we had divergences here, and again against these highs here. So again, that looked decent as a 5-way move. But then we had the PMI data here, which again gave a lot of volume into the markets, and yeah, it creates a very ugly structure in here. I'm not quite sure how that is and what it is. To be honest, I don't really know how I would be wanting to label this, as it is very overlapping. We took out the previous lows, and RSI, I can't see anything here. Now, if we are just looking at some kind of RSI cycle here, we can still see that we are still at the upside. Lower time frames, we could be creating another trend line here, where we can see that it can be starting to break down sooner rather than later. But we'll see how that turns out. I'm still on that long position. I've raised my stops. So again, I'm going to be exiting that within with a good profit. Now, as I mentioned, there's a chance that this was a wave 4, like we had it here, or part of a larger wave 4, where this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that ABC. The issue is starting to be this one here, the 0.5 fib. This is again retracement of a third wave, and if we go beyond that, the probabilities start to shift against being a wave 4. The whole invalidation of these ideas would be around 4,100 when the price gets back to the wave 1 territory here. So again, that would be the invalidation for this whole thing. And again, at that point, I don't know what this is at that point. But again, the other option with this this arrow that I pointed out was that we have the wave 2 here. So at that point, again, we would shift everything one step to the left, in which case we would have this 3 already in here. This would be the 5th, and wave 4 would be done, and this would be starting something new. So we have to be acknowledging that factor and possibility as well. So if this indeed drops now, soon, it is still possible to be a structure that is part of that wave 4, and depending on how and what kind of structure we're going to get here, we'll see, and again, change our buys after that point. But I think what kind of structure we're going to be getting here is going to inform us a lot of what this is going to be. I was expecting a 5-wave move here, but at this moment, again, it looks more like a 3-wave than a 5-wave. Of course, it can have this this extended 5th here as well. And here on 15-minute time frame, we can see that we still have some slight divergences here. So again, there's not, at least the momentum is not really climbing too much up in there. But on smaller time frames here, we can see that we have taken out the highs of that third wave already. So we'll see how that ends up, and if we are starting to turn down. Again, invalidation 4,100, very significant thing if we get up there. But also the extension targets of these, we can see that we are right at the 1.618 at this moment. We'll see if there is going to be a reaction. This was an area of interest for sure before as well. We had these previous lows around this area as well, turning into support, consolidation, and back down. Is this going to be enough of a resistance to keep us plummeting down? I'm not sure, but that is something that we're going to be looking in next week when the markets open again. But again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate likes and comments on this video. If you want to learn something new, check out the Discord, check out Patreon, and check out the Udemy course. For signal service, check out CTC as well. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.